My name is Richard Del Toro, and I'm the Sheriff of St. Lucie County. Joining me today is Captain Troy Norman and our cold case detective, Paul Taylor. And we're here today to discuss the arrest of Julian Antonio Romero, Hispanic male, date of birth July 4th, 1966, for 2 counts of first-degree murder with a weapon related to the murders of victims Robert Hardwick, 77 years of age, and Bernice Reese, 58 years of age. This arrest and charges are the result of a criminal indictment related to the double homicide investigation that started on October 21st, 2000. Cold case detective Paul Taylor is going to provide you with a brief summary of the investigation, and we will answer any questions you may have regarding this investigation and arrest of Mr. Romero. I'd now like to introduce cold case detective Paul Taylor.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Sheriff. Good morning, everyone. I am Paul Taylor. I am the cold case detective here at the Sheriff's Office. So basically, we're here to discuss a double homicide that I've been working for the last couple of years. So the facts of this case, October 22nd of 2000, 911 was called by several individuals from the county saying that there was a structure fire on Kings Highway. It was 3828 Kings Highway. It was pretty much in the middle of nowhere. It was just south of Indrio Road. When the fire department and law enforcement got there, they found a 2-story structure that was completely engulfed in flames. After the extinguishment of the fire, they actually located 2 deceased victims in the upstairs part of the residence. So during the investigation, they found a vehicle that was parked out at the front of the roadway next to the mailbox, and the vehicle had no tag, no VIN number on it. Both of those had been removed. When they did an investigation on that, they were able to determine that that truck was actually stolen out of Louisiana several days earlier. So both of the victims were transported to the medical examiner's office. They were positively identified as Robert Hardwick and Bernice Reese, who were residents that lived there at that residence. The autopsies were completed on both of the victims. At that point in time, one of the victims was determined to have been stabbed. The other one, it was undetermined on cause of death. During the interviews with the witnesses, they had a longtime employee that had actually shown up there and helped them with the investigation, was kind of giving them some facts. And he told them that the day before this fire was reported, the fire was reported at 6:30 in the morning. The day before, Mr. Hardwick had heard someone downstairs in his garage. When he went down there, he found a Hispanic male wandering around inside of his garage. So the employee had actually came to the residence, and this Hispanic male had told Mr. Hardwick that his truck had broken down. So the employee actually gave this Hispanic male a ride up to the Eckards, which is now the CVS at the corner of Indrio and Kings Highway. Then the next day, the next morning, is when the fire was discovered. So, talking to the employee, when he was standing on scene, he actually said that one of the victim's vehicles was missing, which was a gold Oldsmobile Alero. The detectives at that time actually put out a BOLO, put it through NCIC that the vehicle was stolen, and it went out trying to find this vehicle. They were able to possibly get a name from Louisiana, but they weren't really sure who the suspect was that came there. 14 days later, Wilton Manors PD actually arrested a gentleman down in Wilton Manors. He was actually sleeping in the victim's stolen vehicle. He said that he had just got into that vehicle to take a nap, and said that everything in the vehicle was his with the exception of some jewelry that they found in there. He was taken into custody on some warrants. They arrested him for the warrants, and our detectives actually went down there to meet with the detectives there and to try to interview the suspect who had been arrested in the vehicle. So when they went to speak with him, he kind of gave them numerous different stories. They were conflicting each other, and they did a search warrant on the vehicle. When they did the search warrant on the vehicle, they were when they were going through the property that he had said was his, they actually found a can of pepper spray kind of locked into a bag that was in the trunk of the vehicle. When they when they've got this can of pepper spray out, they noticed that there was a bloody fingerprint on the pepper spray. So they sent that to our crime lab, and the crime lab was able to determine that that blood came back to Robert Hardwick. We actually confirmed that with DNA later on, but it was Robert Hardwick's blood that was on there. So they worked on it for a while, and they just kind of ran out of things and the case went cold. So the case went cold. There was a couple people that reviewed the case file over the years, but it kind of never really gained strength to go anywhere. So I started reviewing this case, and in 2023, me and my volunteer, Bruce Colton, started reviewing everything in this case file. So we went through, started organizing things, and we sent a bunch of things off for DNA. The DNA actually came back. We were able to confirm the DNA of Robert Hardwick. We were also able, with some of the evidence that was recovered from the scene, we recovered Julian Romero's DNA at the crime scene. His DNA was in the car. So the victim's DNA was in the car, and the suspect's DNA was in the car and at the crime scene. I found out whenever I started working this case that Romero was actually already incarcerated on unrelated charges. He was serving a life sentence for the charges that he was arrested for down there. So as we're going through this case file, me and Mr. Colton are going through all of the crime scene photos, trying to see if there was anything that was missed. We actually came across a picture of a keychain that was recovered from the ignition of the car at the time of Mr. Romero's arrest. On that keychain was a young Hispanic female. Knowing that the victims, you can see the victims there, they have no Hispanic origin, so it kind of made me wonder, me and Bruce, I'm like, who is this girl? So we started digging into that, and I found some distant family members of Mr. Romero, and I was able to confirm that the picture on the keychain there is of Mr. Romero's daughter. So that kind of goes against his story of what he was doing. So we worked this case. The medical examiner actually began to review the evidence that she had over at the medical examiner's office, and was finally able to determine and update the cause of death on Mr. Hardwick, which had previously been ruled as undetermined. She was able to locate a couple of stab wounds that were missed back in the day, back in 2000. So both of them died from stabbing. On January 7th, working with the state attorney's office, I presented this to a grand jury. We received an indictment, and last night he was actually transported to the St. Lucie County Jail, where I went out and arrested him for 2 counts of first-degree murder with a weapon.
The charges back in 2000 that he was facing in the 1999 Alero, was that kidnapping and rape?
Yes.
And those were out of Broward County?
Yes.
And he was evidently arrested on those at the time, and he was prosecuted on those, and was that what the life sentence was for?
Correct.
So he's been in jail for the last 20 plus years, basically?
Yes. He hasn't been freed since they removed him from this car.
What do you believe played out at that 2-story house that night in 2000?
Well, I believe that he had actually stolen this truck out of Louisiana. He told people in Louisiana that he was trying to make his way back to South Florida, where his wife and a couple of children were. I believe that that truck that he stole, it was in really rough shape, and I believe that he was coming down 95, and the truck started breaking down. He turned onto Indrio Road, drove down a little ways, turned south on Kings Highway, got 1.5 miles down Kings Highway, and the truck broke down. Which is basically, that's in his statements, that that truck broke down, and that this old man called a guy, one of his employees, to come and help him. And so they actually helped him, and the employee actually drove him up to the Eckerts and dropped him off, where he said he was going to make a phone call and have somebody come and pick him up. At that point in time, that truck was still sitting there. So that truck was sitting there the next morning when the fire happened. So I believe he did not make a phone call, because we got the records from the Eckerts. There was no phone calls made, and he knows nobody in St. Lucie County. So I think that he walked back down to that house, and if you look out there between where that residence was at and the Eckerts back in 2000, there was not any residences. It was groves and farmland. There was no houses out there. This was the only residence. So I think he went back there, was gonna steal a car or whatever, and I think he got confronted by the victims, and it went bad.
How far of a walk would that be?
1.2 miles.
1.2 miles in the dark, he went back. Is that the time you
Yes,
think?
and we don't even know if it was dark. He got dropped off at about 4:30 in the evening. It was on a Sunday. It was October 22nd of 2000. So he was dropped off at the Eckerts around 4:30 by the employee. The victims actually went to dinner that night in Stewart, and they got back to the residence after 10 o'clock. There was one phone call made according to her phone tolls, and she actually told her sister that there was somebody upstairs arguing with Bob, and they think it was the guy who was found in the garage earlier that night. The phone went dead and there was no more contact made.
So you think there was confrontation?
Yes. Yes, I think both of them were stabbed and the house was burnt down.
On the 22nd of, late on the 22nd of,
Yep, early in the morning on the 22nd. So the gentleman was found in the garage on the 21st. 21st of October, he was found in the garage. That night, early into the next morning, was when the fire was reported, 06:30 in the morning the next morning.
when you arrested Romero, Mr. Romero?
Yes.
Did he say anything, or, did he say, oh, you got the wrong guy, or?
He did not. As soon as I went to speak with him about this, as soon as I read him Miranda, he immediately said, I want an attorney, and did not want to speak with me, which is his right.
And I know you touched on this before, but can you kind of walk me through when he left the house and to where you found him in the Oldsmobile?
Basically, the house is in Fort Pierce. The Oldsmobile was actually found down in Wilton Manors, which is a subdivision of Fort Lauderdale. I have located numerous witnesses that actually put him in that vehicle the day after the fire. They have him in the Fort Lauderdale area kind of moving around. So I have evidence for all of that.
So the car that night went down?
Yep.
Did he get the keys, or did he hotwire the car to get it going?
He had the keys. Both of the keys were there. There was the victims both owned two vehicles. The two vehicles were in the garage, and the keys were recovered in the ignition with the little girl's picture on the keychain.
Who owns the gold car?
The gold car was owned by Mr. Hardwick.
Is he a U.S. citizen?
He is a Honduran citizen.
What would you say was the big break that allowed you to finally solve this case?
As far as this case, whenever I started going through it, I came at this case with a fresh set of eyes. Me and Bruce Colton started reviewing this case. A lot of the witnesses that they tried to speak to back then really just didn't cooperate. Now they've come forward with more information. I've found new witnesses that have come forward that I've talked to, ones that weren't listed in the case file anywhere, like family members and things like that. There has been huge advancements in DNA, latent fingerprints. If you've got a case with fingerprints that were taken 8 years ago, the FBI says that every 5 years, if a latent print does not have a hit, it should be resubmitted, just because of the advancements. DNA is huge. I've sent off a lot of things for DNA on this case.
So what was the big breakthrough? How did you finally realize, hey, we got it?
I think the big break was that keychain. I think even the state attorney, whenever I told him about this keychain, he's like, you got to be kidding me. Come to my office right now. And we sat and talked about this. I showed him the picture. I actually went and met with the mother of that. She actually had this picture hanging on her wall, the exact same school picture.
So you've kind of outlined it, but why was the keychain such a big piece of evidence for you?
Detectives.
What's that?
When the detectives first interviewed him, he basically said they walked away from the car.
Yes. So when they first interviewed him down in Wilton Manor, down in Broward County, his story was that he had ridden from Mexico. He fled to Mexico on these charges that he was arrested for. He fled to Mexico, was there for a month, and was wanting to come back to Florida because he missed his wife and children. The detectives, when they interviewed him, and he was telling them all of this story, his story kind of kept changing, but he actually told them that he had actually gotten in that car. It was some guy that he only knew by the first name. He had known him for a short time, and the guy allowed him to get into this car that was parked behind the business that Mr. Romero used to work at as a line cook, and he got in that car to take a nap. And the owner of the car the guy who he really can't give any information on said, hey, you can sleep in here. I'm going to go across the street and play volleyball at 10:30 at night. So there is no places anywhere near there now or back then that had a place to play volleyball. I've actually went down and interviewed the chief of police, and the chief of police of Wilton Manors Police Department is actually the one that removed him from that car that night. He was a street cop, undercover. He went and got him out of that car for those warrants. So he said there was no place anywhere around there to play volleyball. And his story was, I just climbed in there to take a nap for a couple hours. So if you're climbing in there to take a nap for a couple hours, why would you take the keys out of the ignition and put your daughter's picture on it? Other friends of his that I've actually interviewed said whenever they seen him around the 24th or 25th of October, it appeared as he was living in the car. He had a big cooler in the back full of hot water. All of his, everything he owned was in that car. So I believe he was living in the car.
How does it feel to finally solve this case?
Excuse me?
How does it feel to finally solve this case?
It is fantastic. It's a great feeling. This is a double homicide, and it's 25 years old.
Yeah, it's almost 25 years. What brought you to this case? What kind of drew you in to look at it again?
So, as a cold case detective, that's kind of a new thing. There's not a whole lot of people working cold cases in the United States. I kind of go through the cases and I prioritize them based on any chance of DNA transfer between a suspect and a victim. If there's a chance that somebody put their hands on somebody else, with the advancements in DNA, if I would touch him on the sleeve and test that for DNA, my DNA is going to be there. The DNA has advanced that far.
But what from this was like, I think I can solve this one?
I think that picture was what really, I mean, it really lit a fire.
Pending conviction of Mr. Romero and the new immigration reform, is there the potential that Mr. Romero will be deported back to Honduras?
I can't answer to that. I actually read through his criminal history, and on his criminal history, there is actually a detainer right now for INS. When he was arrested on these charges that he was arrested for in Broward, they actually put a detainer on him through the INS and said if he is ever released, we want him.
I just wanted to, hopefully just rewind, just for a second. After, evidently after Mr. Romero was dropped off at the Eckert's, now CVS, you think he made his way back to the house. Didn't you mentioned, I think earlier, there was a phone call and somebody mentioned like a disturbance?
Yes.
Can you just go over that?
So with that phone call, they actually pulled the phone records for the victims. Basically, the last call was at 11:20 p.m. and it was from the victim to her aunt. So her aunt said that whenever they interviewed her, her aunt told the detective that she had dropped him off after dinner and she was going to go to a birthday party. She decided she was going to go back to give Bob his medication before he went to sleep. So when she got back to the house, she pulled in, went to go upstairs, heard the argument, called her aunt, said, hey, he's arguing with somebody upstairs. The phone went dead. That's the last record that we have.
Okay, that was the call that Miss Vernice had made.
She had made with her cell phone, correct?
Okay.
You were the county's first cold case detective, correct?
Yes,
It's been 5 years since you were first put into this job.
Correct.
What have you learned in those last 5 years?
I've learned a lot. I've learned that with cold cases, it's a completely different way to investigate a crime than a homicide now. Nowadays, when we have a homicide, it's all hands on deck. Everybody comes out. Everybody is there. All of the evidence, all of the witness statements, everything that happens with that case is not only reviewed by the few detectives that are assigned that case. Now, we've got supervisors that are also in that role to where they're actually going through that case with the detectives. And a lot of our supervisors were fantastic detectives before they became supervisors, because that's where a lot of the detectives go. A lot of detectives are like, sowed my oats here and now I'm moving on and I want to be a supervisor for this agency. So those guys are great detectives in their own right. So now we have supervisors that are actually coming in, working those homicides with the detectives, saying, hey, did you do this? And they're actually making sure that everything is done to where a fresh set of eyes, I mean, that's pretty much what it is now. It's a fresh set of eyes coming in right there at the beginning, stepping in and helping investigate that.
So can you just sum up here what evidence you've got that ties this guy to this double homicide? fingerprints, DNA? Can you just?
Yes, we have fingerprints. His fingerprints were located in the car. They were actually located on a receipt that was found that put him in this car in Florida long before he told the detectives that he was here. His story was he didn't arrive into Florida on a Greyhound bus until the 30th of October. Well, we've got evidence showing that he is here, that he was in South Florida. We've got witnesses that said he was there. So now also we have DNA recovered from the scene of the fire, of the homicides. We have his DNA recovered there. We have his DNA recovered in the car. We have the victim's DNA recovered in the car. Inside of a bag that Romero said was his, that contained all of his fresh, clean clothes, all of that was located in there. Also, in the back of that car, I didn't include a picture, but in the trunk of that car, when they opened it up, they took a picture of everything that was in there. In that car, there was a gas can in the trunk, sitting right on top of all of his dirty clothes and everything else. It's on the top, so it was put there last. When I went to show the employee this picture, I was showing him a bunch of pictures of things that were recovered inside the car. When he saw that, he immediately started tapping on that picture, and he said, "That's Bob's gas can." I'm like, "Well, how do you know that?" And he said, "That rubber spout that's on there," he said, "I put that there." He said, "I do all of his mowing," and he said, "I kept spilling gas. So I put a piece of rubber hose on the end of that gas can." So I said, "Well, let me ask you this." I said, "Was there a reason why it would be in Bob's trunk?" And he said, "Detective," he said, "I worked for Bob Hardwick for 14 years. He said, I knew him forward and backward. He was like my family." He said, "There is zero chance that Bob Hardwick had a gas can in the trunk of his car." He said his cars were cleaned weekly, they were waxed, vacuumed out. He said there is no chance. And I asked him where that gas can was usually stored, and he said it was stored in the front of the garage on a shelf, right in front of the car.
So you think this guy Romero went into the house up to the second floor, stabbed them, and was there scuffle, you think, and then he comes down and starts a fire with gasoline?
That's it. That's exactly what I think.
Would you mind saying that?
Yeah. So I actually was an arson investigator for the sheriff's office, so I have reviewed all of the crime scene photos on this. This was determined to be an arson fire. In the crime scene photos, which we're not showing, you can actually see upstairs in the master bedroom, you can actually see the master bed. Bob was located in between that bed and the wall. So it looked like he was trying to get to maybe a firearm that he had in his nightstand. He was recovered right there. That entire floor of that second story, right there by that bed, around that bed, the origin of the fire was at the end of his bed. All of that was completely burned away and collapsed down into the downstairs. Where Bernice was located, Mrs. Reese, she was located at the top of the stairs. There's also burn patterns there consistent with having gasoline dumped completely right there on that area where she was. So both of those two areas are the two areas of origin on this fire. So I think that once he killed them, he poured gasoline right around where they were at and lit them on fire. Also, that is backed up by the autopsies. There was no soot or smoke or anything like that in their tracheas, in their lungs. They were dead before the fire.
What was the motive for this, though? Why did he
I
do
think
that?
it was a robbery. I think he was trying to find something, some way. His truck just broke down. He's stuck in the middle of nowhere with no way to get anywhere. He doesn't know anybody. So I think he was just trying to find a vehicle, and they came home from going to dinner with their friend, and I think that he's upstairs. I mean, there's no way to get out. He's trapped up there. Once they pull into that garage, the stairs lead right down into the garage, so he's trapped upstairs.
About what time do you think he started the fire?
Just based on the burn patterns, the amount of damage that's there, I would say it was probably around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, maybe even as late as 4 o'clock.
And it wasn't reported until about 6:30?
Correct. When the fire was first reported, it was fully involved. I know I've talked to many of the firefighters who were working back then, and there were some firefighters that were assigned to the fire department there at the airport, and they actually said when they got called out to this fire, as soon as they walked out the front door to get their truck going, they could see the flames over on Kings Highway. They said that's how large of a fire it was at 6:35 in the morning. So it had burned for quite a while.
The two victims were engaged, correct?
Yes. From what I've talked to all of the family members, and she was an employee of Robert Hardwick's for quite a while, and they got into a relationship. And from what I've discovered just talking to witnesses, they had plans to be married.
Where are their families located now?
His son is actually in Minnesota, and Miss Reese's family is still here local.
Did the detectives have all of this evidence at the time when this happened? They knew about when they tracked him to Woodland, or that was like a couple weeks after it? So they had the evidence that you have. Why were you able to?
I think there's just been so many advancements in like the DNA, confirming, because I think back then they actually were just using blood evidence to confirm that it was Bob Hardwick. So the DNA was, even in 2000, DNA was still in its infancy. It's came a long way since then.
How many times do you think they were stabbed?
I would say she was stabbed 2 to 3 times. He was stabbed minimum of 3 times.
So he was already in their house when they come home from some outing?
Correct.
Okay, and so they go upstairs to go to bed, and there he is in the bedroom? Is that what you're saying?
I believe that when they pulled up after dinner, I think Bob went upstairs to go to bed, and Vernice just kind of dropped him off, and she was going to go to a birthday party. She decided to turn around and go back to the house to give him his meds before he went to bed, which is kind of based on the phone call that she made with her aunt. Once she pulled into the garage and went to go upstairs, that's when she told the aunt, hey, he's upstairs, he's arguing with somebody. I think it might be the guy that was here earlier in the day that he found in the garage. At that point in time, phone went dead, and there was no contact after that, even though they tried calling back. They said the house phone and her cell phone would not go through.
So these people were not stabbed in their sleep, they were awake, they weren't in bed asleep.
I think they went down fighting.
But you did say where he was burned and where you found the body, he was going for something in a drawer, like almost a firearm.
There was a firearm in the burn debris right there next to the bed, like in a dresser. So I believe he was possibly trying to get to there.
Okay. But he wasn't stabbed in his sleep then?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
So when you saw Mr. Romero after working this for so long and being the first official cold case, how did that feel, and did he look to you what you imagined him to be? I see right there, he looks a little disheveled. Could that be from people physically fighting with him, or are those disabilities and ailments that are natural?
So whenever I went to meet with him, he doesn't look anything like he did back then.
Okay.
Now he's had some issues in the prison system. He's had his teeth knocked out, and he got his eye shanked out in a fight in the prison. So
Okay.
he looks a lot different now. So
How recent is that photo?
that is almost a year. So
What's your next case?
I've got several in the works right now. Okay, Sheriff, thank you very much.
Yeah, so I just want to say, first of all, I want to thank Detective Taylor. He is, I talked about it earlier when we met with the news media at our meet and greet. There are some tremendous employees here, and this is just an example of one of them. Very committed, very dedicated to making sure there's justice brought for these families. He's worked on numerous cold cases. I believe he's brought 9 to successful conclusion since 2019. We do have about 28 other cold cases that are still being reviewed. I want to give a special thanks to also Captain Norman for supporting these efforts, Lieutenant Jim DeFonso, just for their relentless follow-up and investigations on these cases. And we're very thankful for the assistance of our State Attorney, Tom Backadaw, Assistant State Attorney Brandon White, who specifically supported this case, and to retired State Attorney Bruce Colton. You guys all know Bruce Colton. He was an institution here for many years. He's now a volunteer here at the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office. I mean, you talk about a dedicated public servant. I mean, that's the definition right there. A guy's still here trying to help our victims, see justice through their cases. And now also, I want to thank our Chief Medical Examiner, Dr. Patricia Aronica, for her assistance in this case as well. Some of the things she was able to find by reviewing this case. And I think it's so important to realize when a fresh set of eyes get on these cases, you can just see things that weren't seen before. Sometimes you get so focused looking at in one direction. There was a lot of circumstantial evidence that really led us to Mr. Romero here, but Detective Taylor and the assistance of the State Attorney and all the volunteers that worked on this were able to put this together, and they just did a great job. So we're very thankful, and we're continuing to work these cold cases. We're committed to that moving forward, and making sure any case that we can solve, we do that for these families. So with that being said, Detective Taylor, Captain Norman will be available after this press conference to answer any questions you might have. But I want to thank you all for being here today. Thank you for being great media partners for us, and I look forward to working with you in the future. So thank you all.
Before you run, Sheriff,
Yes, sir.
just give us your reaction that this has been solved.
Well, I've only been here a week. I'll just say that. But I'm very thankful. My reaction is just one of gratitude and thankfulness that, like I said before, you know, I came here. Obviously, I want to change a few things, but the one thing that I don't have to change is the mindset of hard work and dedication to our victims in these cases and making sure they get followed up. I mean, it's evident to me, based on the fact that he's had 9 successful outcomes on cold cases, that this is someone, and this agency is one that is very committed to making sure that we follow through on these investigations. So I'm very thankful for that coming in here, and just I'm going to support those initiatives and efforts moving forward as the sheriff of this county and of this agency, and making sure our employees and our law enforcement deputies have everything they need to make sure we can serve this community the right way.